In this video, we are going to see how to insert pivot table in Google Sheets. Over here, I'm having sales data for four of the users, user A, B, C, and D. So this data basically gives me information that my user A has sold a product of 100 rupees. My user C has sold a product of 50 rupees. To understand, I'll mention over here, I'm having users A, B, C, and D. Whereas I'm having product cost, like I'm having a product of 100 rupees, 50 rupees, 80 rupees, and 250 rupees. So now I want to understand that how much total sale my user A has done today and how much quantity of sale of 100 rupees my user A has done. Similar way for all the other users, I want to create a report. Let's insert pivot table. So we'll click on insert. We'll select pivot table as the option. Now we'll select the data that for which we want to create the pivot table. We'll click on select data range. So I am selecting the data, the first two columns. So it has selected A1 to B50 and I'll click on OK. Now it will ask me whether I want to insert this pivot table into a new sheet or an existing sheet. So let's create into a new sheet. It is by default selected. I will click on create. A new sheet will open up with the name pivot table over here. And at the right hand side, you have options to create your own report and use the data. So first there is an option of rows. Click on add button. Select the column from your data sheet which you want in the rows for your report. So I want my users in the rows. So it is showing as A, B, C, D, the users. Now there are two options, that is order, ascending and descending. Whether you want your user list to be in the descending way or into an ascending way. You can see the difference. So currently it is ascending. I'll click on descending. Let's keep the user list as ascending itself. There is one checkbox for show totals. So when you uncheck it, the grand total row has been disappeared. If you want it, you will click it again. So let's check this show total option. This is a sort by filter. In case if you're having multiple rows added to your report, you can use this filter. Currently we have added only one row, so it will show the same name. Let's come to the columns section. So my rows is been sorted and I'm moving to the columns. So now I'm adding column as cost. Now this is how I want my report. I want to have the price list over here 50, 80, 100, 250, the grand total of the columns and the grand total of the rows with my user list in the rows section. In a similar way to rows, you have option over here for sort by and the order ascending and descending. Let's move on to the values. Now you have selected the rows, the columns, but there isn't any report as such created. So we need to select the values. So we'll click on add. I want to understand the report like through cost. So I'm selecting the cost field. Over here, once you select the values, it gives you two options again, that is summarize by and show as. In the summarize by, gives you multiple option like count A, count, average, max, minimum, median, what exactly the formula that you wish to use. So currently this is sum, and it is giving you one more option as show as. So by default it will sum up the values from your data sheet and present it in the pivot table, but there are other option as percentage of row, percentage of column, and the grand total percentage, right? So let's click on percent of grand. So now it is showing you like this is the 100% and out of which it is 2.44%. Let's keep it as default. So let's understand the pivot right away. It has been created with all my user list, the cost that I wanted to check. So my user A has earned 150 rupees by selling 50 rupees product, 240 by selling 80 rupees of product, has earned 400 by selling the 100 rupees product. In a similar way, 1000 by selling 250 rupees products. And he has earned in the entire day, or she has earned in the entire day, 1790 rupees. So same way for user B, C and D. I'm having a total like how much they have earned today and the grand total that my company has earned, that is 6150 rupees. So to understand, I have one more option that today 650 rupees were earned by selling a product of 50 rupees, 800 rupees by selling a product of 80 rupees together as a team. Now let's understand that I want quantities, like I want to know, like, okay, my user A has earned 150 rupees by selling 50 rupees of the product, but how much quantity has he sold? So let's click on values, summarize by option and select count formula. So it is giving me like, okay, the user A has sold three quantities of a product whose cost is 50 rupees. In a similar way, 3, 4, 4, and in total he has sold 14 products today, and the entire team has sold 49 products today. So this is how you can understand the sales report or any other data that you are having. This is just for an example. Let's move on to an option as filters. So this is basically, once you click on add, and I'm selecting users because I want to understand, particularly I want a screenshot of a report, say, or I just want to see what user D has been doing the entire day from my data. So I'll select the filter as user. It is showing a status option that you can select. So I am unticking the other users and I'll click on OK. So now only in the pivot table the filter has been applied, and only the data of D user will be displayed. With the same things, the grand total is changed, my of the row, the grand total of my columns has been changed. If I change again the values and I click on sum, it will change. Thank you for watching the video.